From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, May 1st, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.11 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,178 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $235. Antiwar.com reports the House Judiciary Committee yesterday made a token move towards NSA reform with a 25-2 passage of the USA Freedom Act, an even more watered-down version of Senator Leahy's reform bill from last year, which was criticized for not doing much to start with. Though some are presenting the passage as a dramatic blow to the surveillance state, most analysts seem to agree that the bill, as ultimately passed, is little more than a diversion passed to placate privacy groups. One thing it does do is dramatically expand immunity to private tech companies participating in NSA surveillance schemes, a fact that was no doubt a big factor in Google cheering for it modernizing surveillance in the U.S. Modernizing, but not stopping. Despite being designed as a reform bill, the bill is not expected to significantly alter the NSA surveillance program or to offer significant protections to Americans swept up in it. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports 10 men implicated in the 2012 shooting of then 15-year-old education activist Malala Yousafzai were handed life sentences in a Swat District Pakistan anti-terrorism court. Malala, best known by her first name, and two friends were shot by Taliban gunmen while they rode on a bus to school. She sustained a head wound but survived and became a symbol of oppression against women and their access to education. She was awarded the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize for her human rights activism, the youngest person ever so honored. The precise charges against the men remains unclear, and local Taliban leader Mullah Fazlullah, believed by Pakistani officials to have ordered the attack, was not among the men. Neither was Atullah Khan, identified at the time of the incident as the chief suspect who allegedly performed the shooting. The court proceedings were closed to the public and the press. Malala, now 17, lives in Britain where she received medical treatment after the shooting. The two other students who were shot along with Malala recovered from their injuries and are now college students in Wales. When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo and would ultimately come to know exactly what it means to survive. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports New York Mayor Bill de Blasio denied that the city had toughened its policing strategy in response to the riots in Baltimore after some lawmakers accused the city's police force of overly aggressive tactics in its handling of protest on Wednesday night. During a series of marches across Manhattan to protest the death of Freddie Gray, a man who suffered severe spinal injuries while in police custody in Baltimore, there were 143 arrests, mainly for obstructing traffic. De Blasio told a news conference, "The strategic approach is exactly the same. We won't tolerate illegality. We won't tolerate disorder. We will not allow the few to undermine the honest efforts of the many to express their views." Some lawmakers had a different view. New York State Assemblyman Michael Blake, who participated in Wednesday's protest, which started from Union Square, said it was overly aggressive. Priscilla Gonzalez, a spokeswoman for Communities United for Police Reform, said in a statement, "It is unacceptable that Mayor de Blasio refused to take responsibility for the systemic lack of respect that the NYPD showed for the rights of peaceful protesters." Last year, New York City Police Commissioner Bill Bratton was criticized for allowing groups of protesters to disrupt traffic by marching down the middle of major thoroughfares without getting a permit beforehand. Those protests were about the deaths of Eric Garner on Staten Island and Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, who both died at the hands of police. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.